Revelation 21. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride, adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And God himself shall be with them and be their God.
Welcome, my child, to the eternal kingdom of light. Come, all who seek peace and light, enter into my eternal kingdom.
And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah Bahasham, Rakakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahasham Shah, pushing to get up out of there. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahasham Shah. All right. And what I want to get into this morning, dealing with, the squeeze, all right, that's being put, all right, on the masses. Okay. And Esau, Edom, this devil, whom he has created a system, where society depends on a cruel and wicked government more than ever. Any time in history, no society has ever depended on their government for the essentials, okay, like this current society, okay, and this devil has gotten people to trade, all right, their autonomy, all right, or their self-sufficiency, okay, for convenience, all right. Most people have outsourced their essential, okay, their essential needs, all right, directly to a wicked government and these corporations, which the government and these corporations are one and the same. Okay, what they call lately, the private public, merger. Well, they've always been one. Okay, because corporations have always had a major influence on the direction of government. All right, and we're at the time now where corporation fully controls the government of America, man. Okay, so people have, given up, being self-sufficient, for the convenience of this industrial, commercial, consumer, okay, type culture, man. Okay, which give this man a lot of power, okay, to the masses, man. You see, and now people are at the point to where they see everything is a scam, but what can they do? You know, people are waking up to the scam of this society, but what can they do? Okay, they can complain about, you know, the prices, okay, of you know, groceries and the prices of rent and the prices of this and the prices of that. You know, they can complain about the government. They can bring this news out. They can expose, you know, particular things. But what can they do? What do they have the power to do? You know, and there's nothing. All right, and that's why a lot of people are getting ready to bend the knee to this beast system, man, because the squeeze is only gonna get tighter. You know, and these devils know they're coming to the conclusion that they really gonna have to come with it with these Americans, man. Okay, America, all right, is gonna have the most resistance to this new world order, and that's why it's gonna be the most bloody and the most gruesome. Okay, because the Lord gonna put the spirit on the elites to meet their resistance with force, man. Okay, and this is just the beginning. You know, this devil is doing a major psychological operation on the masses. You know, and this is economic warfare. You know, this is the American government treats its people like a hostile foreign enemy. Okay, that's why, you know, they was desensitizing people to, all right, ICE agents. Okay, brutalizing, all right, citizens, man. Okay, that's why there's a war on on your wages. You see, on your earnings. You see, because that's what you do in warfare. The same way they put sanctions on these foreign nations and weaken them before they attack. Well, they're doing the same thing in America. Okay? The way that, you know, prices are skyrocketing and wages are stagnant, the job market is shrinking. Well, it's just like them putting sanctions on American people, making things unaffordable. Okay? Owning the house, they pretty much have put a sanction on the American public from being homeowners. You see, they made it unattainable, man. Because when you put sanctions on something, it makes certain services unattainable to these nations. Well, they're making certain services unattainable, okay, to you to Americans, man. Okay, so when you read the book of Jeremiah 17:5, it said, "Thus said the Lord, cursed be the man that trusted in man, and making flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord Yahweh Bashem Al Shai." And this is speaking to you tribes, okay? Because as you tribes have become more and more dependent, okay, on this devil, okay, which the curses say we will be, you know, we will go to him in the one of all things, and we all, you know, depend on this society, okay, depend on you know, the grid, depend on, you know, the infrastructure, the current infrastructure of, okay, this society. You know, some more than others. But see, we return back to our power. See, we got a true safety net in Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. You see, Esau not the beginning and the end, okay, of our existence, man, like he is to most people, you know, including 2/3 of our people, man. You see, we return back to our power, and this is what gives us comfort, all right, knowing that our power is going to intervene as this devil get ready to make his move, okay, because this man finna snatch the rug, okay, from amongst a lot of people. Okay. Matter of fact, let's get this precept, then let's get that definition. We got it before, you know, but it just describes, you know, what this devil is getting ready to do. Okay, he's gonna do a rug snatch, a major rug snatch, all right, from the masses, man. You know, and it's gonna be the worse here in America because you Americans are more pampered. Now it's gonna be violent because you Americans are the most armed, so it's gonna be violent. Okay, but you Americans eventually gonna fold. You're gonna fully give in. Okay, Proverbs 25:19 said, "Confident in an unfaithful man is in the time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint." Okay, so Esau is an unfaithful man. This man is not dedicated. The government of Esau Edom is not dedicated to serve the people. to put you people in the best place, the best case scenario. It's the exact opposite. It's to serve himself while putting you people in a worst case scenario, which increases your dependency on him. Okay, this is a wicked, evil nigga that's in power, man. Okay, and the depths of his wickedness goes beyond, all right, what most can fathom. Okay, and trusting in this man coming into the clutch. Okay, trusting this man coming into the clutch is going to be the worst mistake of many. Okay, let me see. Let's get this real quick. Yep, let's go here. And this is what he's getting ready to do fully. You know, I just always like to get this because it describes what the devil is getting ready to do. You see, this is it says snatch the rug, usually phrased as pull the rug out from under, means to suddenly remove support, assistance, or stability from someone, often leaving them helpless or causing them to fail unexpectedly. Okay, and this is what these devils are getting ready to do. Okay, they're finna remove the stability, all right, the safety, and the Lord is using them to do this, man. Esau is a tool, all right, that's operating with a purpose on the left hand side, and the Lord is using this man, all right, to be crafty, all right, to be more subtle than any beast of the field, okay, to put you people in a terrible place, man, because it's all the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Before Esau was judged, the Lord, all right, got a few more assignments for this nigga, man. You know, and it's bad news to you masses, man. Okay, so it means to suddenly remove support, assistance, or stability from someone, often leaving them helpless or causing them to fail unexpectedly, man. Okay, so everything that people believe and trust in, okay, within this society, all right, is going to be snatched. You know, you trust in the security of this place. You know, there's going to come a time where ain't going to be no emergency response teams. Okay, ambulance and police department and sheriffs. That's going to be done away with because there's so much going to be going on. Okay, the elites, they're going to put everybody in super survival mode, man. Okay, the Walking Dead times 1,000, man. And see, well, there was stability. All right, you people trust in, you know, your steady job, your steady income. Okay, your savings, whatever your stability is, man. Okay, you might got some stocks or whatever. Okay, whatever you people trust in, it's gonna be snatched. All is gonna be snatched. Okay, you people that they got millions. Hey, everybody finna be affected, man. Okay, so whatever stability you got, you know, government assistance and all, everything is finna be snatched, man. Okay, it says it implies a surprise betrayal or abrupt change that ruins someone's plan or security. It implies a surprise, a betrayal, or abrupt change that ruins someone's plans or security, man. Okay? And this is what these devils finna do. You know, it's gonna be a surprise. You know, the money gonna collapse. You know, the grid collapsing. Okay, and you people gonna feel betrayed by your government, but what can you do? Okay, you heathens, you're done. You just gotta roll with it. Okay, and you Israelites, the Lord raised up prophets to tell you what it is, man. Okay, and if you refuse, all right, the gospel, the good news, the warning, okay, via the prophets, okay, you're gonna be out there in the mix, man. You know, you've been set up for failure. You see, the government is setting people up for absolute and complete failure, man. Okay, And these people are crying, all right, about, their treatment from the government. Well, it's only going to get worse. It's just the beginning. You see, they ain't, because like I say, these devils see that they gonna have to do something drastic to you Americans, man. They gonna have to do something drastic to shake you Americans up, man, because you're too goddamn comfortable. Okay, you don't stand for anything. You see, you're not aware of anything. All right, you people are so goddamn comfortable, okay, and unaware and uninformed. Okay, you ain't got no get up and go in you, man. So the Lord gonna put the spirit on the least to do something drastic, and it's gonna get way worse than what we see now. So you go here. Let's play this real quick. I want to play this.
I don't talk about this stuff. I just don't. I just saw one of my favorite content creators on YouTube, Bailey Sarian. She posted a video last night, distraught over what's happening in the United States, rightfully so, along with everybody else. Insurance is a scam. Our government's a scam. Our children are being kidnapped and done with however they see fit. We are not safe. We cannot live. We have to depend on the 1% to give us breadcrumbs when we go to work. We kill ourselves. We can't afford groceries. We can't afford housing. I live with my parents because I can't afford to be out on my own. Let's just be real about it. I can't afford groceries if I did. I can't afford electric bills. I saw a post yesterday about Alabama Power. People over there are having to pay $1,200 for their power bills. Why? There will be no Social Security by the time I get to the age of retirement, but yet I'm putting into it every year, almost $2,000 just last year, when I didn't even make barely $30,000 last year. Poverty line for one single is $15,000. I'm sorry, that is below poverty. That's below poverty. $30,000 in a year, that's poverty, the way everything else is so expensive. But I say let it burn, let it all burn.
And this is your elites, all right, have betrayed you common Edomites, man. Okay, the elites of Esau Edom have, all right, betrayed you common Edomites. Okay, and you people, this is what you vote for. This is a system that you depend on, the system that you love, the system that you voted for. Okay, and like she's a Southern Edomite, so all right, the wickedness of her, all right, ancestors, okay, and how they were with Jake. So it's a beautiful thing that you Edomites are beginning to suffer, man. And she's a loser. Okay, your big old ass staying with your parents, man. All right, a goddamn loser. You see, a lot of you Edomites are 2-time losers, man, because it only gets worse. All right, and your elites have ran off with the blessing. All right, now they finna build a technocracy with your money. All right, with your taxes, and they plan on digitally enslaving you, man. Okay, well, this is a beautiful thing that how the Lord got this set up, man. This is let's say poetic justice, man. All right, if the Lord got you Edomites in this predicament, man. Okay, so you common Edomites, man. Okay, you're just being categorized as Goyim as well. Okay, and the elites are hoarding, okay, the world's wealth. Okay, and they just finna give you rations more and more. Matter of fact, that's how I had looked it up. I was curious about. But you go here when you go into Because one of the main things that people complain about, is food. So I looked it up. I said, how much of the population formed in the early 1900s, in America? All right. It says in the early 1900s, approximately 40% of the U.S. population lived on farms. Okay. 40%. And then I think when you go to ancient Rome, uh, I think it was almost 90%, you know. Let's see. Just to compare it with Rome. Let me see. During do Pax Romana, the peak of Rome. Yep, just to go real, just to show, we'll get back to that too. So when you go here during the time of Pax Romana, there was a time during Augustus, from Augustus to all right, to the time of Nero, then going to the Flavian dynasty. Okay. But let's go here. It said during the Pax Romana era, approximately 70 to 90% of the population was engaged in agriculture or directly supported farm-related labor. Okay? During the Pax Romana era, approximately 70 to 90% of the population was engaged in agriculture or directly supported farm-related labor. Okay? They say it was overwhelmingly agrarian society, and agriculture was the primary occupation for the vast majority of the 50 to 70 million people living under Roman rule. Okay, and it was the people that was in Rome that stayed in those cities that depended on the bread and circus. Okay, but the most of the population, okay, they dealt with their own agriculture, man. Okay, their daily food wasn't outsourced, all right, to the Roman Empire. Now within the city of Rome, people that live in these cities, which America, like one big city, man. A lot of the population, okay, has been herded into these cities and dependent on these cities, man. Okay, which gives Esau even more leverage than ever. Okay, and that's one of the main things that he's going to leverage against the masses. Okay, is the access to food. Okay, but they're buying and selling. Okay, the main component of that is going to be what the food. Okay, so even in Pax Romana, you had 70 to 80% of the population were farmers. All right, and you go here, it says in the early 1900s, 40% of the U.S. population lived on farms, a number that has plummeted to less than 2% today. Less than 2%, while nearly 4 in 10 Americans were directly involved in agriculture at the turn of the 20th century. Increased productivity and industrialization have reduced this to a small, highly effective workforce today. Okay. So through technology, the devil has been able to increase productivity from farming. Okay. But he has decreased the amount of population that farm. Okay, so you have 98% of the population depending on the other 2%. And how easy is it to control or completely do away with that 2% and make a system where you're completely dependent on the government, okay, just for daily bread? You see? So these devils are getting ready to put a squeeze, all right, because a famine can easily be manufactured, okay, in a population that's just dependent on the government, man, on the wicked government, man. All right, which is fully controlled by the elites, man. Okay. Um, so let's go from there. Let's get a couple more precepts. Let's get this in Second Ezra, chapter 5 and verse 1. Second Ezra chapter 5 and verse 1. It said, nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. And the land shall be barren of faith, man. So we're seeing the land, all right, we're seeing, and that's mainly here in America, man. Okay, so the Lord is going to allow the word, the famine of the word, his word is going to be hidden. You're not going to have access to any type of teaching, true understanding. Okay, so you people are getting ready to be taken. The signs are showing, all right, that you people are going to be taken through deception. Okay, and you're going to be taken through death, because these devils have a depopulation agenda on the books. Okay, and they need you Americans, all right, to perish, man. Okay, because you look at how they're building data centers, and you see they need a lot of the population of America to be herded into these smart cities. Okay, and the rest out of there, man. Okay, they got a great calling that they want to do in the world, but especially here in America, man. Okay, because American citizen is not a good fit. All right, the current American citizen is not a good fit for the New World Order structure, man. Okay, they need a very compliant, all right, citizen for this new world. You know, so what we're gonna see in America, they're gonna continue to put the squeeze, psychologically break people, and they want you people to unalive yourself too, because they win both ways. Whether you comply or unalive yourself or spaz out and go unalive other people, it's all a win to them. Okay, because these Edomites, they want these elites, they want, all right, death for compliance, man. That's how they moving. You see, it says, "In the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith, man." Because you people, you trust in a wicked government. Okay, so when this wicked government, okay, betrays you, man, you're gonna be helpless out here, man. Okay, it says, "But iniquity," verse 2, "but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago," man. Okay, so iniquity shall be increased. So it's just gonna get worse. It's gonna be more lewd, more perverted. It's gonna get more violent. Okay, so they want to create an atmosphere of desperation. Okay, verse 3, it says, "In the land that thou seest now to have root, shall thou see wasted suddenly," man. So this place, America, has been established. It's been, this economic power, this military power. It had all this influence, all this, people had what you call disposable income. Okay, this place was rooted and established at one point. Okay, and then it said you're gonna see suddenly wasted. And that's gonna be the nukes, man, because at the end, even when you get the sea help, okay, and thinking that because he's gonna present that sea help as the savior. So even when you get that sea help, okay, it's still gonna end with this place being nuked. Okay, and judged through fire. Still, this place is still gonna be turned into the lake of fire, man. Okay, so there's no way out of this, man. Okay, there's no way out of the judgment that's to come. The Lord finna judge this place, man. That's what you people missing the point. You see, most people are just concerned about bettering the betterment of their individual situation. Okay, because if you gave that same Edomite, all right, a job making 80, 90,000, she won't have no complaints. Okay, you people's gripe is just you want to better your situation. Okay, and they're gonna present their C hip as a way to do that. All right, and you're gonna take that C hip. Now you heathens are through, but you Israelites, you're gonna take that C hip, okay, and hoping that you're gonna change your circumstances, and you're gonna lose. Okay, matter of fact, let's end with that. Okay, let's end with that. The book of Luke chapter 9. Okay, this is Luke 9:24 said, "For whosoever will save his life shall lose it." Okay, and a lot of people they're gonna want to maintain, okay, or try to get back some form of the life that they had before the chaos, man. Okay, the C hip is gonna be a promise to return to normalcy. Okay, and not only normalcy but a better normalcy. Okay, so for whosoever shall save his life shall lose it, but whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it. Okay, and the elect, the Lord has put the Spirit on the elect, to be prepared to lose everything, even their life, if need be. Okay, and the promise of being joint heirs with Yahweh, resurrected. If it's come to the point of death, well, there's a promise of resurrection. Okay, and then there's a promise of us being provided for. All right, even though we're not going to have the seed here, we're not going to take this man's device. There's a promise of the elect being provided for, man. So there's a remnant. You see, there's not going to. And Scripture says that love not their lives unto death. Okay, we know, all right, that there's a stopping point for us, dealing with this system, man. And we're going to have to fully trust in our power. Understanding the loss of everything, job, status, material thing, houses. Some brothers, some believers gonna be homeless, man, before this thing is all said and done. Out there, man. You see, whatever route we gotta go, but we know not to bend the knee. Okay, this devil puts the squeeze, man, because we have a hope in something beyond this, man. Now we're really going to see the value of having hope, okay, in Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, something outside of this system. And we know that our life, okay, is in the hand of the Heavenly Father, not Esau. Our life is in the hand of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah and not this devil. Okay, and there's an eternal reward on the back end of all this, man. So that's the point. Just wanted to bring it out. Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified once again. Want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rakakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples of young brothers. And peace and blessed salutation to the hopeful Shalom.